Hello class, today we're going to talk about arithmetic sequences as functions, which is section 3.5. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify arithmetic sequences using their common differences, find additional terms for those sequences, and find specific terms later on in a sequence using an equation. So, a general sequence is a set of numbers in a specific order. The one on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the numbers in counting order. The one on the right is also a sequence. It's called the Fibonacci numbers. There is a specific pattern, and those are very useful in calculus and higher level mathematics. The one that we are focusing on today is a specific type called arithmetic sequences, which is putting them into the counting numbers. Or more specifically, they are sequences that have terms with a constant difference. So if we're looking at this second one on the left in the middle, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, we're going up by 2, which if we look at that common difference, that's telling us how to get from term to term, or D is equal to 2, down there at the bottom left. The example in the middle right, negative 21, negative 25, negative 29, negative 33, is going down by 4 every time. So we have that bottom right difference of negative 4. First thing we want to do is to be able to identify if a sequence is in fact arithmetic. So we're looking for that rate of change or that common difference going on here. So to get from negative 9 to negative 6, I added 3. To get from negative 6 to negative 3, I added 3. To get from negative 3 to 0, I added 3. And to get from 0 to 3, I added 3. So this is arithmetic, and our common difference is 3. If we look over here at the one on the right, we're going up by 3, 5, 7, and 9. So it is not the same number being added every time. So this is not an arithmetic sequence. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Decide if it is or is not, and identify the common difference if it is. This is an arithmetic sequence, and our common difference is negative 7. Next thing we want to be able to do is find the next 3 terms or continue that pattern on that we've been given. So we already said our common difference for this one was 3. So all we need to do is continue to add on 3. So 3 plus 3 gives me 6, 6 plus 3 gives me 9, and 9 plus 3 gives me 12. So those are the next 3 terms in the sequence. Go ahead, remember this is the one from before where we had a common difference of negative 7. Find those next 3 terms. You end up with negative 10, negative 17, and negative 24. We don't always want to find that next term in line. Sometimes it's helpful for us to find terms in the middle of the sequence. Say the 15th term, or the 25th term, or maybe even the 107th term. But we want to be able to find terms out of order without finding all of those middle numbers. There is an equation we can do that, we can use to do that, and we're going to find what's called the nth term. It just stands for the number that we are trying to find. The first term of our sequence we're going to call A1. Just like we had X1, Y1, that little subscript 1 is just there for a notation thing. The common difference is D, and the nth term, so that number that we're looking for, is N. So it's going to say the A stands for the term that we're looking for. So AN, the term that we want, is equal to the first term plus the common difference times N minus 1. Putting that into practice, we want to write the equation and then find the 15th term. So we've already said couple times that our difference is 3. Our first term, our A1 value, is this negative 9. It's the first number that they give us. So first it wants us to write the nth term equation. So that's just saying AN, we aren't looking for a specific number yet, is equal to our first term, which is negative 9, plus the common difference times n minus 1. So we're looking for just any number n. This is the equation that we could plug into to find that in the sequence. If, for example, our common difference had been negative 3, then instead of this plus sign right here, we would have a minus. But since we're going up by 3, it is a plus. The next thing it asks us to do is find the 15th term. So we would say A15, because that's the number we want, is equal to our first term plus our common difference, and then we want the 15th term, and the rest of the equation is minus 1. You can plug this all into your calculator at once, plugging in negative 9 plus 3 in parentheses 15 minus 1. That will not work if you forget the parentheses. So if you want to plug it in right away, make sure those parentheses are in there. If you want to simplify it a little bit first, you could solve the parentheses before you plug it into your calculator and plug it as times 14. Either way, you end up with an answer of your 15th term is equal to 33. Go ahead and try this one on your own, writing both the general equation and finding the 15th term. So we end up with an answer of A15 is equal to negative 73 with our common difference of negative 7. It was subtraction instead of addition. Our first term was 25. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please let me know when you get to class.